Take a look at this picture. These are players who have won the NBA Rookie of the Year for the San Antonio Spurs. If you don't know who's in it, the guy on the left is Tim Duncan. He was listed at 6 foot 11 inches tall during his playing career. To the right of him is David Robinson. He was 7'1" in his playing days. The man holding the trophy is Stephon Castle. He's 6'6". And on the furthest right is Victor Wembanyama. According to the NBA, he's 7'4". Now, pictures can be deceiving, and we don't know how straight each person was standing. But are we seriously saying that Wembanyama is only 3 inches taller than Robinson? We promise you we haven't done anything to edit the heights in this picture. Something just doesn't add up here. How tall is Victor Wembanyama actually? As we've mentioned, his official height according to the NBA is 7 feet and 4 inches. There are plenty of people who dispute that, though. One of them is former NBA big man Boban Marjanović, who himself stands at 7'4". During an ESPN broadcast, Boban described how in meeting Wembanyama, he had an unusual experience of having to physically look up at someone for just the second time in his life. In that same broadcast, sports writer Brian Windhorst stated that he believed Wembanyama could be as big as 7'7". But that's just the eye test. Can we come up with something a bit more scientific? Well, what doesn't help the confusion is that his official height keeps changing. On October 15, 2025, before the start of the new season, his height was listed on the NBA website as 7'5". That's an inch taller, but growth in between seasons is not unheard of. Growth plates in males tend to close by the age of 19, but according to the Cleveland Clinic, there are plenty of cases where they remain open into the early 20s. Wembanyama entered the NBA at 19, and just between his first and second seasons in the league, his listed height grew from 7'3" to 7'4". At just 21, it's more than possible that he could still be growing. So that settles it then. He clearly grew over the summer and is 7'5". Case closed, right? Wrong. Just a day later, the NBA changed Wembanyama's height again, this time back to 7'4". This confusion is something the NBA has been keen to clear up. In 2020, it brought in a new set of protocols, and for the 2025-26 season, it sent a memo to all teams detailing the instructions on how players had to be measured. Teams must measure a player twice, in socks or barefoot, to the nearest quarter inch. Then a third time as a tiebreaker if the results differ. If the league has questions about the height being reported, they will have the teams measure again. A team physician is required to oversee measurements and provide a signed certification when the team uploads the data to the league system. Teams must also assign 3 training staff members to play the role of posture police, ensuring players don't cheat as they step up to the wall for measurement. When the Spurs measured Wembanyama, protocols stipulated the first staffer would be placed on ankle duty. This meant having Wembanyama take off his shoes, put his heels together, turn his feet out 45 degrees, then raise his toes off the floor as the trainer held down his ankles. It's one of the most elaborate attempts to keep someone off their tiptoes in modern times. The second judge is the front judge, whose job it is to make sure Wembanyama's posture looks straight. Then there is the side judge, who ensured he was aligned to the wall correctly and carefully inspected for the all-important Frankfurt horizontal plane. What is the Frankfurt horizontal plane? You and anyone else who doesn't have a few doctoral letters after their name may be asking. It is the anatomical line connecting the lowest point of the orbital bone to the uppermost point of the ear canal, the easiest way to determine that a head is in its neutral position. Once the Frankfurt horizontal plane was in place, a fourth member of the staff pushed down on Wembanyama's hair with a triangular right-angle tool to officially record the measurement. To do this, they needed to stand on a chair. So after all that effort to get an accurate measurement, how do we explain the last-minute change? Well, either he shrank by an inch over the space of 24 hours, which seems unlikely, or his height is being listed inconsistently because he potentially doesn't want to be seen as taller than 7'4". This is not unheard of in the NBA. Kevin Durant asked to be listed at 6'9" as a rookie, despite admitting in his career that he is actually 6'11", because he didn't want to be profiled as a power forward instead of a small forward. While the late Minnesota Timberwolves coach Flip Saunders joked that Kevin Garnett was 6'13" because he didn't want to play center, a position usually given to players over 7 feet. Wembanyama himself has said that his height has become a non-subject to him, and his game is so much more than that of a stereotypical center. So after all that, it feels impossible to ever truly know how tall Victor Wembanyama is. Even his coach at the Spurs, Mitch Johnson, has admitted he doesn't have a clue. And while he continues to answer the questions asked of him on the court, the ones about his height remain.
If you like this video, please consider subscribing to the channel. The Athletic is home to the best team of sports writers, reporters, and analysts in the world, offering exclusive stories and unrivaled insight. You can try The Athletic for free for 30 days by clicking the link in the description.